But her whole explanation is, well, I'm old, and this is the way of things, and if he's going to use my abilities to murder hundreds and thousands of millions of people, what are you going to do? And Botan's like, that is horrible. She calls her out. She's like, you're a bad person, Genkai. And Genkai's like, I don't fucking care. He's like, all right, fair enough. Hello, and thank you for checking out the video. I just want to let you know that I not only create content on my YouTube channel, Class on the Glass, but I'm also on Twitch, where I review movies, cartoons, and TV shows live, while also playing single-player games and multiplayer games. I also have a Patreon where subscribers have access to hundreds of video and audio commentaries for films and cartoons, as well as podcasts and videocasts. In the meantime, thank you again for watching. Enjoy the video. And now, my friends, we're going to get into my next review of the... You thought I was done. Oh, no, chat. No. You come back here. I'm going to beckon towards you, all right? Just like Christian Grey to his little golem girl. Because now, chat, we're going to be doing a scene-by-scene breakdown, chat, to Yu Yu Hakusho episode 13. We're wrapping up Randy the Demon. This arc, chat, within the show has been going on for quite some time. Also known as, I guess, the Genkai's tournament, where Kuwabara and Yusuke have been going through all these various competitors, everyone from fucking, cyborgs to Nazi monks, to samurai, chat, to learn Genkai's power. That's the thing, chat, because she's like, I'm dying. I'm old as fuck. I'm very fucking old, Yusuke. And she's got to pass on her teachings to somebody, chat. And it's like, all right, it's between, at this point, Yusuke or Randy the Demon. Whoever wins, I'm going to teach him. That's just how it is, chat. And in case you forgot, Randy was secretly shoring this very polite, seemingly unassuming monk, Krillin-looking motherfucker. But he revealed himself to be a piece of shit, beat the hell out of Kuwabara, broke his arms and everything, chat, nearly killed him. And he has revealed his true form to Yusuke as they were battling each other, chat. And Randy is hot. He's really hot. He has this fucking mane of just red fucking hair. He's got all these fucking tattoos around his body. He's got like a six-pack, chat. And it's like, God damn, all right. You're not sharing with everybody else. Come on, man. That's some eye candy. And he looks a little fucking weird, too. There's no doubt about that. He's just kind of gray and green. He's got like evil-looking eyes. But it's like, just in time, it sounds like you. Just in time, because it was just doing a brief explanation of what happened in the last episode of Yu Yu Hakusho and shit. And so Randy has exposed himself, not in a sexual way, although wouldn't mind that, especially after 50 Shades, chat. I think I'd rather be in a relationship with Randy the Demon than Christian Grey. I think Randy would at least treat me better and cuddle after sex. I don't know. But Randy's revealed himself, and he's like, he's fucking hot. Kuwabara is absolutely delirious at this point because he is in so much physical pain because both of his arms are broken and his ribs are broken, which causes him, to breathe just terribly. He has a lot of issues breathing right now, and it's also making him fucking hallucinate. So he's just saying nonsense at this point. And Randy, he's just monologuing. He's like, you know what? I haven't had to reveal myself, expose myself in a non-sexual way. Okay, no one's canceling me, all right? No, that ain't gonna happen. I've had to do this for centuries. And I have to admit, you guys, you know what? You knocked me on my ass, but it ain't gonna happen again. Ain't gonna happen again because in this form, my final form, I am far more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Yusuke goes, oh yeah, and Yusuke just fucking runs up to him and starts punching the shit out of Randy, chat. He's bopping and uppercuts and hitting him and kicking him shit. And Yusuke's like, all right, and here's the final punch. And bam, hits him across the face, chat. And Randy's like, that all you got? Are you done? Are you done? He's like, I put everything in that punch. He's like, well, yeah, your stupid little weak human muscles maybe, but you're fucking tapped out, man. You're out of that spirit juice, that spirit energy. You're all spent up. And now I'm going to show you someone who has the ultimate spirit power. And I will use it by showcasing one of my many other favorite techniques. And he starts, I don't understand this. he starts doing this incantation for all of his techniques, and it's like, it's DBZ rules. Just fucking run up to there and just, like, stop him from saying the thing. But Yusuke does, and he's like, I want to see what he has up his sleeve. Let's see what he's going to do. And he summons this thing which he calls the Life Force Thread. The Life Force Thread. And it's literally, it's like this webbing. It's kind of like spider webs, chat. They shoot out, and they kind of, like, all are over Yusuke, and then they materialize in these, like, thicker webs. It almost looks like rubber, and then attach themselves to Yusuke. And then Randy's like, behold the power of the Life Force Thread. And he goes, bop, bop, bop. And he just starts throwing him around the area, chat, just slamming in the ground, slamming in the boulders and trees and shit. And, you know, Botan is like, oh, this is horrible. Genkai, can't you stop? He's like, nope. No, I cannot stop it. The tournament's still going on, Botan. But she's like, but Randy the Demon's gonna win. And if he wins, you're not gonna teach him, are you? She goes, oh yeah, I'll teach him. He's like, but he's a murderer. He's killed all these other psychic warriors for hundreds of years, for centuries. Why would you teach him? She goes, because I've made up my mind. And I'm old as fuck, and I'm too stubborn to change your Botan. But her whole explanation is, well, I'm old, and this is the way of things, and if he's going to use my abilities to murder hundreds and thousands of millions of people, what are you going to do? And Botan's like, that is horrible. She calls her out. She's like, you're a bad person, Genkai. And Genkai's like, I don't fucking care. He's like, all right, fair enough. We then cut, I'll teach anybody. She's like, I would have taught Hitler. I don't give a shit. But then we cut to Randy, who's just beating the shit. He's turning fucking poor Yusuke into pulp. And eventually he attaches the life thread to a tree, and Yusuke's hanging upside down like this. And he's like, all right, I'm going to summon one of my other favorite techniques. And he just starts doing this incantation. Even this opportunity, Yusuke can't do shit. He's like, hey, stop saying that. Stop saying, he's not even doing this. He's like, I'm going to see what he has up his sleeve now. And what he does is, because Yusuke is like, he's hanging by a tree, but below him is this like little pond, because they're in a swamp, but it's like this little pond. And he does his incantation, and he fills the pond with these giant fish. And Randy's like, behold, my hate fish. And Yusuke's like, that's a stupid name. And he's right. And he's right. And he's like, hey, you want to see something cool, Yusuke Urameshi? He goes, yeah, I don't have a choice, dude. He's like, no, you don't. And I guess Randy's able to, like, front poop out little demons. And he's like, and he front poops out a little demon. He's like, nah, 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 nah. And he throws the demon to like, at Yusuke, like, and it grows instantly. And it looks like it's going to attack him. But then Randy, like, fucking stops the demon in midair using telekinesis or something, and he just drops like a fucking rock into the pond, where the hate fish then tear him apart like a bunch of fucking piranha. And he calls it like a trainer demon, which I don't know that. I guess it's like I can just summon familiars or whatever. I don't know. And he's like, what they did to this demon is nothing compared to what they'll do to your soft, fleshy human body. But you know what? I like to play with my food, and I'm really overconfident. I'm sure it won't be my undoing any capacity. I'm going to show you my newest favorite technique, the spirit gun. And he's like, what the fuck? And everyone's like, whoa. How do you know about the spirit gun? And apparently, Botan telling Genkai, oh, Randy must have just observed Yusuke use it and just memorized it, which literally all Yusuke does is spirit gun, and that's it. And he's like, I can do that. Which, you know, in hindsight, it's like, yeah, I guess you kind of can all do that. It's kind of very easy when you got spirit energy and it goes go pew, pew, pew. But his is red because he's evil. And he fires it, pew, and it's a big explosion. It's kind of like Frieza, very Frieza-esque, the color. Fires it, and but he doesn't, it's like, oh, it's going to hit Yusuke right in his fucking face, but it kind of moves aside, and it scratches his cheek, and it blows up a tree nearby, and then it's like little cut starts bleeding and shit. And he's like, I just wanted to give you a taste of my power. The thing is, Yusuke, you know, you use the spirit energy, and that also empowers me up. But the thing that makes me additionally more powerful than you is your sweet fear. It's like Pennywise shit. He feeds on fear. I feed on the fear of you stupid, poor humans, and it makes me far more powerful. That's why I've been able to live for hundreds of years and be super sexy and hot. And now I'm gonna feed you to the fucking fish. And he then fires the spirit gun, which then severs, which I just would have hit him in the fucking face, but whatever. You do you, Randy. You do you. I ain't, you know, here to tell you what to do. You've been doing this. He has been doing this for hundreds of years, chat. And he shoots the webs, the life force thread, and then Yusuke falls into the pond. Everyone's like, oh God, the hate fish are gonna eat him. And Yusuke's like, Brrr! He's like drowning and shit. But then Kuwabara goes, he's like a cat, and he vomits up his soul, which then floats all the way down and goes into the pond. And Yusuke, who's in the middle of drowning, just like, well, I guess this is fucking it. I'm gonna drown. I'm eaten by giant things called hate fish. So stupid. And then the light is, he's like, what the fuck is that? And the light just hits him, and Yusuke is suddenly teleported to this all-white room, kind of like the Matrix, like in the original Matrix movie when Morpheus talks to Neo. And Kuwabara is like, Morpheus, you're a Meshi, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm dying, I'm drowning, I'm gonna be eaten by giant fish. He goes, that's stupid, you're a Meshi. I always knew you were a punk. I can't believe I trained every day to fight you and to see you get eaten by some guppies. You're a loser, Yusuke. If you were as tough as you like to say you are, you would have beat this demon. Maybe, you know, maybe after you're dead, Botan will make me a spirit detective, and I'll take this guy down. And fucking Yusuke's like, what the fuck? No, fuck you. He's like, no, fuck you. And he's like, well, I'm gonna get out of here, you loser. And he goes back. He then goes back to his body. Kingpin Larry, thank you so much for the 19 months of incredible support. Thank you so much, good sir. And thank you. And it was a pleasure meeting you too at DT Live chat in Dallas. That was so much fun. So much fun. Ice Dragon. Fucking Ice Dragon was messing with me today in fucking DT game, but kicking my goddamn butt. However, once the soul goes back into Kuwabara's mouth, and Yusuke fucking, he apparently that's what he needed. He needed a very negative pep talk, because he's like, I'm not gonna die, I'm going to live, and he explodes, and he becomes a Super Saiyan. He pretty much becomes a Super Saiyan. Thank you, Luke the Boss, for that 2 biddies. This is weak. Super weak, as he says, super weak. Thank you for the 2 biddies. And everyone's like, whoa, what the fuck's going on down there? And, you know, Yusuke goes Super Saiyan, and Randy, he's like looking at the bubbles. Suddenly all the bubbles start and everything. And he's like, oh, that's weird. And then he's like, well, he's going to have to come up for air at some point, because they see the light shoots out, that beam of light, which gets a lot of good work as a great agent, shoots out. He's like, all right, well, he's still got to come up for air at one point. And he sees a whole bunch of bubbles, and he uses the spirit gun and shoots it at it, chat. But then Yusuke suddenly says, he's like, you know, the cool thing about swamps is they always lead to somewhere else. And it's like, okay. And he pops up because there's underground tunnels in the swamp. Because it's like this whole area is covered in various ponds, but they're all connected via underwater tunnels. And Yusuke pops up behind fucking Randy the Demon and goes, spirit gun. He says, I'm gonna show you how to use spirit gun. Spirit gun. He fires it, and then Randy's like, shit. And he fires his spirit gun, and they have a Kamehameha kind of like Gallic gun, like, you know, key blast battle chat, very DBZ. And Randy's like, but I have all the fear, and it'll be enough to overcome you. The thing is, though, Yusuke was right. Clearly, Randy does not know how to use it, because the spirit gun is more about that spirit energy, baby. Not about that fear. It doesn't make it more powerful. It just changes the hue, I guess. And so, Yusuke's spirit finger bang goes through Randy's, and it fucking hits Randy full on. He's like, bah! And he fucking flies around and shit. And he's like, oh my God. He just gets his ass kicked right there. Everyone's like, yeah, everyone's celebrating, everyone's happy. And they hear Kuwabara like muttering, and they go over to Kuwabara. He's like, yeah, yeah, I just gave him a little pep talk, you know. I knew that would get him hot under the collar. Blah. And he's like, still not doing great, still not doing great. Oh, I don't, it's not all that seems, Chad, because when Yusuke goes to Genkai, he's like, all right, I won. I guess I got a trade with you, old lady. She's like, the match isn't over, Yusuke. Don't celebrate before Randy is done. He's like, what? And we see Randy's like, you fucking asshole. He's really pissed at this point. And Randy just yeets himself. He goes right at Yusuke, and he starts pummeling the shit out of him. He's like, you fucking think you can beat me? Some punk, and I forgot Yusuke's 14 years old, but he's 14. Some punk teenager, some 14-year-old that you can beat me? I've been alive for thousands of goddamn years. I've killed so many warriors, so many psychics to be where I am right now. I'm not going to let this little shit in a goddamn green onesie with this slick back gelled hair kick my ass. No. And he pummels the shit out of him. And Yusuke just falls to the ground. And then Randy's like, I'm going to fucking shrink you down just like that ginger-haired fuck over there. And I'm going to squash you. I'm going to crush you in my bare hand. And he starts doing the incantation again. But then Yusuke's like, oh, man, I think he pummeled me so much I can't even hear what he's saying. And this is very important, chat. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. This is another thing. It's one of those other, like, wow, Yusuke, you're so lucky. He's got a luck dragon or some shit. I don't know. It's weird. But then he starts doing the incantation. And he finishes the incantation. All of a sudden, Randy starts shrinking. He's like, what the fuck's going on? He starts panicking. He's like, what? And what he tries to do is he tries to, like, just reverse it, but he's too weak at this point because he's used so many fucking magic spells. And it's like, okay, what happened? And Genkai comes over with Botan, and they explain, like, oh, well, you didn't know this clearly because you just killed the guy with this technique. The thing is, you have all these techniques, but you don't know how far they can go or all the aspects of them. He's like, what? And he says, so for that technique that you use when you shrink them, someone needs to hear those words of the incantation in order for them to shrink. If they're not able to hear it, it just goes to the person the closest person who has heard it. And we didn't hear anything because we were so far away from the battle. And so the closest thing that heard it was you. You heard yourself. And so he shrunk himself. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And this all comes up in the last hour, Chad, the 11th hour. And he's like, that's stupid. He's like, yeah, but that's just the way it is. Yusuke then, and the thing is, we learned why he couldn't hear Randy. He had swamp algae in his ears. He's like, oh, what's this? Algae. It looks like boogers. And he fucking throws it at Randy. Randy's like, ah. And he's like, well, Randy, I'm like really tired right now, and I cannot throw a punch. So I'm just going to sit on you with my butt. And he's like, what? He's like, look out below. Here's some of the thickness for you. And Yusuke just goes, ah, he leans back and fucking Randy the Demon is stuck between the thick cheeks of Yusuke Urameshi, Chad, and he is defeated. We then cut to Baby Jesus, who's like, yeah, I knew he'd be able to do it. Ha! He's so excited. And the demons are like, excuse me, sir. He's like, what? And he's like, Baby Jesus, you know how you said that we should stop working because of the fight? And he goes, yeah, well, we kind of have an issue where it's all backed up because so many people have been dying around the world. And Baby Jesus is like, shit. So a lot of paperwork, chat. He's going to have to do all that for some additional hours. He's very upset. Eventually, though, we cut back. Botan has the crushed body. I mean, I guess Randy's still alive. He's just really fucked up now because of Urameshi's thick ass. But Genkai heals Kuwabara, and who is much better. He's like, thank you, old lady. You're really nice. And Urameshi is very happy. Yusuke's happy because, this is great. I won, and now I'm going to get to learn your technique, Genkai. She's like, yeah, but it's going to take like 6 months to learn it and all my other abilities and things. She's like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. But this week, before I go and do that, I'm obviously going to go to Tokyo Bowl, right? You promised me, remember the tickets, chat, back 10 episodes ago, where Botan said, oh, yeah, if you do this, I'll give you tickets to Tokyo Dome or whatever, right? Just a fighting tournament or something. And Genkai's like, actually, no. You can't leave here because I'll kill you if you try to. So you have to stay here for 6 months where I have to teach you. He's like, no, man, no Tokyo Dome, no. And I assume Botan and Kuwabara went to Tokyo Dome, chat, and had a good time. Had a good time. And then we get like a next time on Yu Yu Hakusho, chat, where it's a time jump. It's 6 months later. And Kuwabara has definitely now joined Urameshi, spirit detective. I don't know if Kuwabara's been made a spirit detective at this point. And I get the sense he has been. But they're definitely saying on a mission where they're going to go to a haunted castle to fight all sorts. No, it's like a haunted castle with a giant maze. Where they're supposed to defeat these 4 other demons, chat. And, can't wait for that. But that's next time on Yu Yu Hakusho. And this is the end of my scene by scene breakdown of Yu Yu Hakusho episode 13, the end of Randy the Demon. Hope you enjoyed it, chat. He got defeated by thick ass cheeks. 50 Shades of Bullshit is a better title, yes. For 50 Shades of Darker, hell yeah. 100%. 100%. I'm pretty sure he uses his elbow, but sure. Nah, man, I know what I saw. Apple armor is strong. That's thick. Thicker than them cheeks. After this, see Genkai for the rest of season 1. She returns season 2, where she gets upgraded to main characters. Oh, good. I figured so. They also hint at that the 2 other demons that from the previous arc. I forget their names already. Hei and the other guy. I forgot his name. The red hair guy with the rose. He's coming back too. So I imagine they're going to be his friends or his colleagues or his assistants in the battles. Kurama, that's it. Kurama and Hei are great. So there you go. They're coming back, Chad. They're coming back to help Kuwabara and Yusuke Urameshi. Can't wait for it. But that'll be next time, chat. Next time. Very excited. I hope you enjoyed the reviews tonight, chat.